Related to our work with text functions, I also want to point out a couple capabilities you can access by going to the Data menu in the ribbon. In a section called Data Tools, there are two we'll work with for now, and they are Text to Columns and Flash Fill. In the past, I used to teach additional functions to help you split up text, but as Excel has improved over time, a lot of these are no longer used. The first one I'll demonstrate is Flash Fill. It is a powerful feature that automatically fills in data when it detects a pattern. It detects such a pattern by comparing a user's input to data contained in adjacent columns. This can be a big time saver. In this example, let's say instead of wanting to combine names into a single field, I want to extract out the first and last name individually. I can start by just typing in the first name in cell B2. Now there are multiple ways to get Flash Fill to work. First, you could click a button. It's actually located in multiple places. On the home screen, we can go up to the editing options, and under Fill, it's the last option, Flash Fill. And as I indicated before, we can go up to the ribbon, select Data, and we can find it among the data tools. After hovering over it, we can see a message box which indicates that there is an Excel shortcut to activate Flash Fill. Control E. You guys should know that I'm all about shortcuts, so let's do it both ways. First, I'll click the button with my active cell just below the name I typed in. I'm going to hit Control Z to get rid of that. Now I'll do it again by just hitting Control E. That's pretty cool. For the last names, we could manually employ Flash Fill like we just did, but often, if you just type in data for multiple rows and hit enter, Excel will trigger it automatically. Another useful feature in Excel is text to columns. This tool is especially handy when you encounter data that's condensed into single cells but needs to be separated into multiple columns. For instance, you might copy data from a table on the internet, and instead of preserving the tabular structure, when you paste it in Excel, each row has been condensed into a single field. Or you might work with legacy information systems that, in an effort to reduce processing needs, condense data into delimited files. When you retrieve this data, it often appears as single cells packed with data that are separated by delimiters like commas, tabs, semicolons, or other characters. Text to columns helps you unpack this data into a more readable and usable format. Here we have a data set of NBA players. As the columns to the right suggest, we have data including their name, an abbreviation of the team they play for, what position they play, and how much money they're going to make in the upcoming season. All this data in a single cell is not going to be very useful, so I'll use text to columns to separate this out after selecting all of these cells. Still in the Data tab, I go to Text to Columns among the data tools. First, we have to specify how do we want to split this out. Fixed width, I've never seen anyone really use that. If you want to just eyeball where you want to make the cuts, you could do that, but that's not common. Let's select Delimited and go Next. Looking at our data, we can see that the values seem to be separated with commas, and this last one's a straight line. Maybe you're not familiar with that character, but it's called a pipe. You can enter a pipe by hitting Shift and the key just above the Enter key on the keyboard. So first, I need to specify what delimiters are present in this combined data. We've got comma selected here, but in other, you can type in any character that functions as a delimiter. Here, I'm going to hit Shift \, again, that key right above the Enter key on your keyboard to get that pipe, and now we've also separated out the salary. We hit Next. If we wanted to, we could specify the different data types for these. I'm gonna be okay just accepting the default column data formats. But for my destination, I'm gonna hit this up arrow, and I want to start the values here in cell F2. That's where I want Stephen Curry's name to start, and everything will spill out thereafter. We'll hit Finish. There's already data here. Do we want to replace it? Well, there's not data there, but yeah, we'll go ahead and hit OK. Hopefully, you can find some use for these data tools. We'll explore more as the course progresses.